So I bought the Mass Effect Trilogy for the 360 about a month back, maybe a bit less. And so I want to review, if anything, the entire series, but game by game. And the reason for that is because, well, you know, to be fair, they're not all equal in any way. So we'll start off with the first game. And my history with the games, actually. So the first time I tried playing Mass Effect, it ended up horrible. The game just did not feel good at all, and it was bland, really. And I was told by people, you know, oh, you just gotta get a couple hours into the game, and then it starts picking up. Well, while that was true back then, I have played through the first game now 2 full times, one on the PC and once on the 360. And I can tell you now, I hate the first game. The general story is good. I liked it. I like the characters. Rex is awesome. I love Garrus. Ashley is meh. See who else is there. There's Liara. Not a big fan of her. I liked Tali at first, but she grows annoying eventually. I hate the Council with a passion, and I'll explain that later. So, the big thing I hate about the first game is basically every planet you go to. If I can remember off the top of my head, you got Pharos, which is, I think that's the one with the God, I can't remember. I want to say that's the one with the not the husks. I'll check here real quick, but it's just like none. It's like none of the planets were worthwhile at all. They were just annoying. Ah, here we go, the Thorian. That's what I was looking for. Let's see if I can bring up the actual quest here. So you go to Pharos and you deal with the Thorian, which is a pain in the ass. Yes, Zoo's Hope. Ugh, I hated it. And the main thing I hated was not the Thorian itself. It was the Asari that throws at you. I actually had to restart my game on the 360 because when I got to the Thorian part where they just kept throwing Asari at you, my entire team was down to minimal health. Like, we're talking one hit from the Asari, you were down, and I had nothing to heal myself with. We had very little ammo, and I was like, shit, I can't do this, so I had to restart. It was just, I don't know, it was just annoying in general. So, Pharos is fucking horrible. And then we have Noveria. Now, I am a hater of all things ice. I hate every ice level ever created on any possible game. I think my original hatred for this was back one of the Star Wars games where you're flying around in one of the little fighters and you have to take down the fucking four-legged bastards. And it was just an ice planet. And I was like, what the fuck? So I've never liked ice planets ever, and Noveria is no different. The only redeeming quality about Noveria, and at first I hated them, but the later games have shown that they're awesome, are the Rachni. I love the Rachni. They are amazing. At first they were somewhat annoying because they're strong as fuck, but I've grown to like them, so they're not too bad. And then I don't know what the planet's called, the lava planet where you find Liara, that one got me stuck on the PC because of the giant geth that they send down to fight you. That was a pain in the ass. That level in general was just horrible. And then the final level where you hunt down Saren, it's a jungle ancient level. I hated that level too. I don't know what it was. The entire game just throws you a bunch of crappy planets. In general, though, the story's good. You know, you got the Reapers finally coming into play, or coming into play. I can't say finally since it's the first game, but you got Reapers coming into play. You have no idea what they are, and you got a bunch of people being fucking indoctrinated and mind controlled, and both times I've played, I was able to convince Saren to kill himself, which is awesome. You eventually get him to realize, oh hey, I'm being controlled by them. That's where you learn, Sovereign is a Reaper, and they basically wipe out all civilizations after like 100,000 years or some bullshit. But the main thing I've hated is the Council. Now I understand why the council do what they do. They operate on facts. Obviously, they can't go by, oh, Shepard had a bad dream. We gotta, react to this. No, they need actual facts. So I could understand. That's why I was kind of annoyed when they didn't give me any, they never gave me the option to agree with the council. It was kind of bothersome the entire time. Shepard's like, because Shepard, he's actually dealing with the experience, so he knows what's real and not. Especially when I actually talk with the goddamn Reaper himself, and they still didn't believe me. I was like, really? The other thing I was annoyed by was on the PC, on my Let's Play, which I'll probably reboot, I killed off the Rachni, and I had one council member, was he, a Solarian, he bitched at me for it. He's like, you just eradicated an entire species from existence and you didn't even try to contact us first? I'm like, no, it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. To be fair, it was also because I had Rex with me, and I loved Rex, and he was like, come on, he's just nagging at me. He's like, come on, Shepard, millions of my people died to kill off the Rachni, don't bring him back now. So I was like, alright, I'll kill him. But if you let the Rachni live, you got the Asari and the Turian bitch at you for it. Like, how could you let them go, blah, 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 they're the reason that we brought the Krogan up to help us, and so, thankfully, and, spoilers obviously in this video, I'll put that in the title, but, the Rachni actually do help you out later on. Granted, they do harm you, but that's because of the Reapers, and if people are going to attack the Rachni, or if people are going to be, pissy because the Rachni are being controlled, to be fair, every species has been controlled, I think, at some point by the Reapers, so you might as well just eradicate all life, and to do that, you might as well just leave the Reapers alive, so, it's all kind of pointless, but, it was like everything I ever did in the first game, the council just bitch at you for it. Or at least a couple of them do. Any decision you make, they're just mad. Like, I killed a Thorian, and the guy's like, you had to destroy, a bunch of ruins? I'm like, yes. That's the only way we could kill him, sorry. So, both times I've played the game, I have killed the council. And, I don't know, I want to leave them alive, I do. But I don't know. And then, of course, you have people who get pissy, like, oh, you only killed the council because then humanity was, up on top. But next time I play through the game, I will keep the council alive. It's against my better judgment, but I'm going to give it a shot. I want to see how it turns out. So the first game, the story was good, the characters were good, the gameplay itself was atrocious. The rover is horrible. I think it's the rover. If it's not, I don't know why the word rover would come to mind. But the vehicle that you have to drive is fucking annoying as shit. It's horrible at driving, and I can't stand it. They didn't help that with Mass Effect 2 either. Mass Effect 3, I never used it, thankfully. But the controls for it on both the first two games are horrible. Most of the planets that you go to that don't really serve a purpose, they're just kind of annoying. To be fair, with a lot of Mass Effect 1, I have skipped through a lot of it, especially on the 360. I did the main quests only. I think I did a couple of side stuff, but just because I already had done them on the PC, so I knew what I was doing. But in general, I stayed away from most side quests because I wanted to get the game over with. I wanted to start playing Mass Effect 2. Which brings us to Mass Effect 2 and Cerberus. So, I didn't run into Cerberus on Mass Effect 1 at all, not that I knew of. And so when Mass Effect 2 comes up, I actually played quite a bit of it on the PC, which I forgot about. So I was going through the 360 version, I was like, oh wait, I've done this part already, and I was kind of annoying myself with it. But but it's funny when they tell you that the first half hour of the game, like, oh, we're Cerberus. My first thought was, who the fuck is Cerberus? To be fair, you do run into them a bit in Mass Effect 1, and I guess they did a bunch of crazy experiments and shit like that, and they're just overall assholes. So to be working with them is actually supposed to be kind of a shock, or to be saved by them. But when I started Mass Effect 2, I had no idea who they were. So it was fun. Mass Effect 2 brings us Miranda, who's awesome in every way. Kind of pissed I couldn't use her as a companion in Mass Effect 3, but oh well. The Elusive Man annoyed me. I thought I'd actually meet him or get to kill him in the second game. You don't. But Mass Effect 2 brings us the collectors, which is interesting. And I'd say Mass Effect 2 improved on a lot of things. And I kind of missed the guns from Mass Effect 1, actually, where you didn't have ammo. It was just all, what was it, like overheating stuff. The first time I played, I was kind of pissed. I was like, are we going to get ammo ever? But now that I've actually dealt with losing all my ammo and shit, I kind of missed the guns from Mass Effect 1. But anyway, Mass Effect 2 brings us the collectors, and the only thing I hate about the collectors are the fucking scions, or I think that's how you say their name, scions or scions. They're the fucking things that basically their whole body is armor except a little bulbous thing on the top left of their body, and they have a fucking, basically a psychic attack that, let me put it this way, I was playing on the easiest mode, and they still kill me 2 shots. The first hit would take my shields off, the second hit would kill me. I'm thinking, what the like, there were parts in the game that were just annoying as hell. I think it was the, when you're on the Dead Reaper, and you have to fight your way through like 30 scions. I was like, how the fuck does anyone play this on the hardest difficulty? These things are fucking annoying as shit. So I would say the scions are probably the only thing I despise about Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 brought us a bunch of companions that I loved, with the exclusion of Jack. At first I thought I was going to like Jack. I'm thinking, okay, a really powerful, basically a psychic, someone able to just destroy everything in her path. But then she just got bitchy. Like, you find out that her being alive was all because of what Cerberus doing experiments trying to make just her perfect, and she's all pissy about it because she didn't understand what the fuck was going on. So she kind of got just slightly annoying throughout the game. So I stopped using her. I think throughout all of Mass Effect 2, I used Garrus and Miranda, besides the missions that you were forced to use someone else. Why? Because Garrus sucked ass in Mass Effect 1, but Mass Effect 2, he's amazing. Same for Mass Effect 3. And Miranda was just because I was trying to use her at all times. And then, Joker, throughout all 3 games, is awesome. Gotta toss that out there. Seth Green, love him. The collector base in general, and this is a big thing that I'm glad I looked up, because apparently you're supposed to get a bunch of upgrades for your ship. I wasn't doing any of that. I didn't know about that. And apparently if you go through with the suicide run without upgrading your ship, lots of people die. So I'm glad I looked that up, which brings up the biggest change in Mass Effect 2 to Mass Effect 3. Was with Mass Effect 2, scanning planets was very simple. You'd go to a planet, you'd scan around the entire planet. If you found some mineral, or if you found an area that was, reacting bigly, you shot down a probe, it would gather all the minerals, you moved on, and you could harvest the fuck out of a lot of planets. And Mass Effect 3 fucked that up, but I'll get to that later. So I would say the suicide mission alone was annoying as hell. Goddamn scions. The Reaper fight wasn't too bad, but it brought up a lot of questions. Mainly what the fuck are the Reapers doing? And then, let's see what else was there. I think that was about it. I thoroughly enjoyed Mass Effect 2. I would say Mass Effect 2 is probably my favorite of them all, with Mass Effect 3 coming after, and then Mass Effect 1 is way down below. But I can pretty much say I love... was it Morden? One of the greatest companions I've ever had. So Mass Effect 2, thoroughly enjoyed it. Super glad. Once I reboot the series on my channel, I will definitely play as much Mass Effect 2 as I can. I will probably shoot past Mass Effect 1 again, because I really don't care for it. I'm sorry, I don't. It's a annoying game to deal with. If anything, I'll look up missions that I really should do. Maybe do missions with Cerberus involved in them. That'd be interesting. Let's see what else is there about Mass Effect 2. I don't think there is much more. Biggest annoyance is the scions. The collectors themselves aren't all that bad. The scions just, hate them. The big thing you find out about the collectors, though, is that they are, if I'm getting this right, they are actually the Prometheans that were converted into collectors. If I always got that right. I'll have to check that up real quick. But then we get into Mass Effect 3, where you're grounded now. You are not part of Cerberus anymore, which I'm confused by in every way. I never understood that. It's like all of a sudden I'm back on Earth. I'm not part of Cerberus anymore. Everyone's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? I guess there's something that if I recall, there's DLC or something that explains it, but let me check here real quick. The collectors are raised to live beyond the mega, blah, 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 blah. Let's see if I can find anything on the Prometheans. It's the Protheans, not Prometheans. Realize that the race formerly believed extinct still exists, but has been completely subjugated by their Reaper masters. So I guess they are, in some way, Protheans then. Interesting. Of course they look like them. Wasn't thinking that one through. And then, so Mass Effect 3, we got the Reapers attacking. I think it's at end of Mass Effect 2, you see the Reaper army up here. So Mass Effect 3 is all about basically getting everyone to join the cause, which is where I get annoyed, because there's so many people that are like, oh, well, I don't want to do this because of this and that. And the biggest annoyance was when I was trying to cure the Krogans of the genophage, and the fucking Solarian was all, oh no, you can't do that because then they'll repopulate. And it's like, bitch, here's the issue. If we don't help them, we lose against the Reapers, which means everything is dead. If we do help them, then, oh no, they might repopulate and try and, take over the galaxy. I think the Reapers right now are a bigger concern. So I was annoyed when people weren't ready to cooperate. So I was very happy with my Shepard being kind of a dick and just basically saying, people, cooperate or I shoot you in the face now. That was basically the gist of how I played him. Lots of funny moments in the game when you are full-on Renegade. I'd say the only time I wasn't Renegade was when I was dealing with Miranda and Ashley. Because, good God, they brought Ashley back so awesomely. I didn't like her in the first 2 games because of her hairstyle, pretty much. It was all, ugh. But in Mass Effect 3, oh my God, they bring her back full awesome. So, then I can't use Miranda anyway, so that was kind of a disappointment. So I was trying to romance both of them. I'm like, if I can do both of them, that'd be awesome. No, I don't think you can, because you don't get to talk with Miranda all that much, but oh well. But the biggest thing that is hard about Mass Effect 3, now I'm not sure how much of this I can change, because I didn't do a lot of the gathering of resources crap, which I probably should have done, but I lost Morden. It sucked to see him go, and I'll admit full on, I cried when I realized that Morden was going to die. I'm like, that sucks. I don't think there is any way to save him. I'll have to check on that, though. So Morden died, and that was horrible. Didn't care when the female Krogan that we spent so much time trying to save, she ends up dying. Big fucking whoop. She had to. So we cured the genophage. Whoopee. And then, of course, we don't see Rex much after that. It kind of sucks. I liked Rex on my team. And then, killed Liara, or not Liara, Tali. Oh my God, that was awesome. So apparently you are able to save them, but I didn't have the reputation needed. I did all the missions. That was what I was pissed about. When I checked it up, it was like, oh, you have to have at least like 4 or 5 bars of reputation. I think I was just below what I needed. I was like, shit. So I was unable to save both of them, or both races. So I ended up killing off all of the the Quarians? And it was funny to watch Tali fall off. I'm like, Tali, I don't give a shit about you. She's like, I'm sorry, Shepard. I'm like, I wish there was an option of saying, bitch, just jump off. But the only thing I was annoyed with is the whole don't know what they look like under the mask thing. That was my only annoyance, really, with the Quarians. Other than that, the Geth taking over, I was okay with that. I like the Geth. They're kind of cool. Besides the fact that they try to kill you in the first game. But that's okay. I like them still. I'll easily take the Geth over the Quarians anytime. And then, the biggest one was, this one I could prevent too. This is what pissed me off, is I could prevent it. Was, the final run, I was forced to watch Garrus and Ashley be killed off by the Reaper. And that pissed me off to no end. Because I looked it up, and apparently you can save them. So, shit. So I'll try my best to do that next time. And then the final part with the Elusive Man, I was able to shoot him. Very happy. Oh, before I get to that, what's his name? Kai Lang. Oh my God, this guy, like, he was cool because he's all ninja-like. But he annoyed me because he's sitting here talking shit. Like, the second time you survive him, he sends you a fucking email saying, oh, you couldn't even beat me, or you couldn't beat my best, blah blah blah. I'm like, bitch, not only have you run away twice from me, but the time you fight him on on the sorry homeworld, the asshole's got a fucking air support. You're bringing his shield down, and he's like, "Ah, protect me, my shields are down." I'm like, really? I mean, you're just a massive pussy. I mean, you can't do anything without some help. So once you finally fight him at the Cerberus base, I just destroyed him. And it was hilarious when he tries to get up, and my first thought was, how did none of us hear it? I mean, he gets up on his sword. You can hear the sword. But it was funny, I was able to use my the Renegade action, where I basically had to spin around, shatter his sword, and then I stab him. I was very happy. Oh, and he killed Thane, bastard. I liked Thane. Of course, his whole spiritual bullshit kind of meh. But Thane in general was kind of cool. He's an assassin. I gotta like him. But yeah, Kai Lang was just annoying. But killing the Elusive Man was kind of cool. And apparently you're able to tell or get him to realize he's indoctrinated, just like Saren. So it's kind of cool to realize that you can actually have him kill himself. And then the ending in general, I can see why people were kind of dissatisfied with it, because like I look at games like Dragon Age, where they explain what happens because of what you did. Like if depending on who you choose depending on who you choose to lead the dwarves, or is it the dwarves? Sure. Haramont or whatever Balin, I think, I don't know. It explains what happens with them. It explains what happens with the mages if you help them out. The werewolves and the fucking elves. Whatever way you choose, the story actually unfolds that way, which is pretty cool. With this game, I was like, I don't know what happened to half the people. I know most of I know of everyone who died, obviously. And by the way, the option I chose was kill every synthetic out there. Fuck the Reapers. It's like I go this entire my other thought process going through the game was, I don't care what it takes to win against the Reapers, I will do it. And so I only had two choices. I know there's a third choice, but I only had two of them, which was take control of the Reapers by basically killing myself, or kill all Reapers. I chose to kill all Reapers. Granted, the first time I was just kind of trying to go through the dialogue, and I accidentally said, I'm not going to use the Crucible, and so it ended with the cycle continues. I don't want that, so I had to restart and go through all that 10 minutes of dialogue and cutscene again, which is boring because you can't skip any of it. It's kind of annoying, but worth it. So I destroyed all Reapers, and I guess it kills off anyone basically who has any synthetics in them. They got killed off too. Kind of sucks, but fuck it. Best way to do it. Especially since with Garrus gone, with Ashley gone, I'm pretty sure Miranda would be killed off with it too. It sucks to see that Joker, I think, was killed too, but I had to do what I had to do. No point in keeping the Reapers alive after all they'd done. So it was worth it. And I would say, in general, I loved the series. It's pretty good. I can't wait to play through it again, besides the first game. But it was a great series of games. I'm super happy that I got it. I'm glad I got into it. Granted, what the annoyance was, I kind of rushed through the third one as well, but I was just trying to figure out what Cerberus was up to, and it's kind of lacking. They were just pretty much trying to figure out indoctrination and just trying to take control of the Reapers. That's all it was. That's all they were doing. It's kind of, I guess, disappointing. Because my entire thought was, okay, they're fucking it all up for everybody, but they should know, obviously, if we lose against the Reapers, then they lose too. But no, they were just trying to get control of the Reapers. Which, I don't know. I'll see what I do next time. I'll probably do it next time, just to see how it ends. But in general, very happy with the games. With exclusion of Mass Effect 1. Very happy, very excited to play through them again, and see what more choices I can do. So I'm more than likely going to reboot the series on this channel, which means full playthrough of Mass Effect 1, which I'll try and skip through most of the stuff. Mass Effect 2 I'll play the hell out of, and Mass Effect 3 we'll see. And I don't think I'm going to go full Paragon or full Renegade. I know I labeled my original playthrough Paragon, but I think I'm just gonna go with whatever feels good, you know. So I mean, we'll see what happens, but great series, and I can see why people were pissed off at the original ending. The extended cut really doesn't do much more for it, but you know, definitely worth it. So there's my review of the Mass Effect trilogy. If I forgot anything, I can always toss up another video, but in general, very happy with it. Can't wait to play it again.